So this video is in response to my friend Cameron XM's video, which he tagged me in, and this video is going to be top 5 YouTubers. So before I get on with the list, I would like to mention some honourable mentions. Number 1, Lego Lambs make some really good. These guys, John and Al Kaplan, they make some really good, really funny, sort of film musical parodies. Like they've done ones for Terminator, Rocky 4, Schindler's List, The Hobbit. All really funny, really good from a comedic, writing standpoint. Also, really good from just a sort of from a musical standpoint. The songs sound really good, and the accents are really good. Usually, always spot on, and really good channel. And if you want to check out some more of these guys' songs, I suggest going to iTunes and buying them. Because you'll find a link on their YouTube page. But yeah, just because they're really good, really good. Another honourable mention is How It Should Have Ended. Obviously a very popular channel, and for good reason. Been making videos for a long time now, really funny ones. Some of my favourite ones have to be, of course, the Lord of the Rings one, but then I also like all the Superhero Cafe stuff, and that's really good. But yeah, obviously you probably know who they are, and but if you haven't, you should definitely check them out. So number 5 on my list is a channel called Mr. Repsion. He's a guy who makes videos on religion, ethics, morality, and other stuff as well. But mostly, sexuality, that sort of thing. But he mostly talks about religion. And he's an atheist, and I'm an atheist myself, and I think he has a lot of interesting things to say. And if you have any interest in philosophy, or or anything like that, I think you definitely enjoy his channel. He's a guy that you can definitely tell has been through a lot. He's definitely been hurt by religion, and and I think that gives him some really interesting things to say, some really valid things to say. And if you have any interest in that sort of thing at all, I think you should definitely check him out. Number 4 on my list is Card Games for the Win, or FTW, which is Little Karibo's channel, who is the guy who made the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series, and that's where you can find those videos. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a big part of my childhood. It's certainly not something I watch anymore, but I used to watch it a lot when I was a kid. And so when I found that this guy was sort of cutting down the episodes, effectively taking out the card games, and making fun of the characters and the series as a whole, I just found it to be one of the funniest things I had seen on the internet. It's such a clever and funny show. It's got a lot of great running gags, and the voices he does for each of the characters are really good. Some of my favourite characters have to be, I really like Kaiba in it. I really like Melvin as well. I think he's a really fun character, and Bakura. And I think it's just a great. And if you grew up and watching it, I remember the episodes that he's abridging from when I was a kid, vividly. And that's why I love it so much. Not only is the show really funny, but it's also really nostalgic for me, because it's kind of a way for me to go back to those old episodes without having to, kind of go back and watch them all. Because they would spend so long playing card games on that show, 5 episodes playing a game of Duel Monsters. It was like, but it's great. I love it, and I wish he would update more frequently. It takes him quite a few months to make an episode, but fair enough. If it's clear that he puts a lot of effort into them, and they're still funny after what, like the 60th episode. But yeah, if you used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, or if you just want to see some good comedy, I think it's definitely a channel that you should check out. So number 3 on my list is, it's just some random guy who makes the Hi, I'm a Marvel, I'm a DC videos. And I know his channel isn't quite what it used to be. It's still good, but back in, I don't know, say 2008, you know, he was just on the top in terms of YouTube channels. But still, you know, his videos are incredibly funny. Very, very. He has a voice for all the characters, all the different Marvel and DC characters. His stuff, his own stories that he wrote for those characters. You know, the After Hours and Happy Hours stuff and Zero Hour. Those were all great, like really well written. I love the stuff he had to say about, especially in After Hours, about Superman and how he was sort of like seen as an outdated superhero, and I love it. And I suppose just for nostalgia reasons, I think It's Just Some Random Guy was the first person on YouTube that I actually subscribed to. So I think it's very fitting that he's on this list. And you know, he doesn't like Little Creebo. He doesn't update as much as I would like him to. I think it took him like there was like a year or like a 2 year gap in between episodes of Zero Hour, which was a bit. But you know, still, he's one of those YouTube channels which I never want to go away, because you know, he's just so. I just love his videos so much, and yeah, just you know, nothing better. Number 2 on my list is Jeremy Jahns, who's a really great YouTube reviewer. I've been watching his videos for a while now, and he's just, perhaps, if not the most in-depth of YouTube reviewers, he's definitely one of the most entertaining. His videos are always great fun to watch. But and I always use his videos to decide. Usually, not always, but usually I'll use his videos to decide whether I'm going to go to the cinema or not. Because, you know, there are no spoilers, so he doesn't spoil the movie for you, and he's really good at that. He's really good at not spoiling the movie for you. And you can generally trust his opinion to see if a movie, certainly if a movie's going to be entertaining or not. And so I've sort of been using him as a using his reviews as a decision whether to go to the cinema or not to see a film for a long time now, and I think that just shows how sort of much I kind of trust his judgment, because I do think he's a talented reviewer, and I do think I do generally agree with what he has to say about films, and even when I don't, he always has a point to back up his claims. You won't find in-depth analysis with Jeremy Jahns. They are just short reviews, but if you are looking to see whether it's worth going to see a film at the cinema or not, then definitely watch his reviews. And if you just want to see a really entertaining spin on a film review, definitely watch them, because he is really funny. And number 1 on my list is Geekvolution. And what can I say about Geekvolution? If nothing else, Geekvolution, Captain Logan, the guy who runs Geekvolution, must be the most devoted person I've ever seen commit to a YouTube channel. Not only, does he upload 2 videos a day, but he has a running series called Spawn Year, which, you know, the set and prop for that show, make it look like, you know, it must take a lot of work to film and set up and everything. And he's doing, I don't know, he's done over 300 episodes of that. all of his Superhero Rewind reviews, which is probably what he's most famous for, are so in-depth. Like, you might as well, it's like you're listening to a university, and like you're listening to a university lecture on Superman 3, you know. It's to an extent, it's a little ridiculous. But yeah, he's an English, he has an English degree, and so he definitely knows about stories and characters, and he can tell you all about that, and it definitely shows in his reviews. Um, my favorite series of his has to be Superhero Rewind. Where he's reviewed a bunch of superhero films: Batman Begins, Iron Man. What's bizarre to me is that they give him and his plan is to review every superhero film ever made. Which I'm not sure if he'll, and he's admitted this. I'm not sure if he'll ever manage to do that task, considering how many superhero films have been made and will be made. But he's done an awful lot. I love Spawn Year. I love the podcasts he does. I'll usually download them and then listen to them on the bus. Whilst I'm doing work, I'll listen to them. Evolution has been a pretty much constant part of my life for the past, nearly 3 years now, since I've been subscribed to the channel, and it is just, there is not a better channel, in my opinion, personally for me, on YouTube at the moment than Geekvolution. It's got everything you want. If you're to do with geek culture, if you're a Star Trek fan, there's a show about Star Trek. You like the CW show Arrow? There's a discussion show on Arrow. Superhero movies, Superhero Rewind. You wanna there's a recommend show recommending stuff, geeky stuff that you might want to buy. There's you like comic books. There's a comic review show. He reviews every week. Is a show where he reviews new comics. Kenner was actually involved in this stuff, which is why Mr. Freeze is driving this thing. Something for everybody. There's something for everybody geek culture-wise on Geekvolution, and if there isn't, then through Geekvolution you can find a bunch of other great channels like the Rio Manos and blows himself up dude, which will do more, which will give you more stuff. It's such a fantastic channel. And one I can gladly say that I've been subscribed to for the past 3 years. So let's break it down. And I just can't compliment the guy Captain Logan enough. He's just such a great. He's just so devoted to his channel. He knows so much about the story, and if there was one criticism, I do think he tends to focus, because that's what he studied and everything. He certainly studies on the story side of a film rather than the sort of the maybe like the filming aspects or the acting aspects, which is fine. But sometimes I think he somewhat neglects those aspects sometimes when he does his reviews. But aside from that, great channel, and if you haven't heard of it, definitely subscribe to it, because it's one of the best channels on YouTube at the moment, in my opinion. But what do you think? What are your top 5 favorite YouTubers? I would tag somebody, but I've got no one to tag, because my friend Cameron XM already tagged the Happy Jawa. That's the only other YouTuber I know. Yeah, what do you think? Please state your opinion in the comment section below, and please subscribe. Thank you. This was Isaac's Movie Page, and thank you for listening.